Hello there, let's make a brief study on CMGI. Starting by the charts. Well, here's the all history chart for CMGI. We had everybody knows this incredible bubble run in 1998, 99 and early 2000, and then a complete collapse to about $1. So that's history. For the short term, actually the chart is looking quite bullish. Here in 2007, the stock is near a new 52-week high. So short term is bullish. Technical overview: CMGI had a huge bubble in 99-2000 with the rest of the tech sector, and then collapsed. The short term trend is bullish. Now, fundamental analysis. This is the number of shares outstanding on an historical basis since 97, and you can see there was heavy dilution here in 99 through 2000 and 2001, and then in 02, 03 and 04 and 05. That was one of the causes for the 90% or so share price decline. But recently the share count has remained stable, so the company is not diluting shareholders' value anymore. The share count increased at almost 11% pace for the past 10 years, but not recently, so this is a positive development. The market cap, indeed, it increased at 10.2% average annual rate, but the share price didn't reflect that. That was all done by the increase in the share count, and you see the market cap was 292 million in 97 and 853 million now, but the price of the stock is about the same, which is what we shareholders care for. Okay, moving on. This is the long-term debt plus current ratio, and the company now has about 25 million in long-term debt, which is not significant for a 853 million market cap company, and the balance sheet actually is quite healthy now with a current ratio of 2.84. I like to see it above 2, so this is looking good. As for revenues, well, here in 2000 and 2001, the company had its record revenues in 01, when it had $1.23 billion in revenues. But now, recently, then it had this big drop in revenues, but since 05, revenues have remained above $1 billion, and for 07, analysts are expecting $1.12 billion, and for 08, $1.22 billion in revenues. As for the gross margin, you can see here, that's one of the main problems of this company. Gross margin is quite low. It is expected to be about 13% in 07, which is low for gross margin. You can see here gross margin for CMGI was on the fourth quarter, it was 12.5% and 57.5% for the industry average. And that probably explains why the price to sales ratio is just 1.3 for CMGI and more than double that for the industry average. Okay, now for earnings per share and net profit margin. Well, net profit margin is expected to be 5.6% in 07, which is an improvement from, look at this has been a roller coaster ride, big losses here, and of $16 per share in 2001. But the price to earnings ratio is just 13.5 for CMGI and 38 for the industry average. So CMGI, because of its problems and its past, has a below average valuation. Perhaps it is cheap here compared to the industry. Investors have been burned with this stock, so probably trading at a discount now. Fundamental overview: CMGI has diluted shareholders' value by a lot over the years, but not over the last 2 years. Sorry, I forgot to note here. Balance sheet is okay now. Price to sales ratio is 1.3 compared to the industry average of 2.8. Forward earnings per share multiple is 13.5 and the industry average is 38 on a trailing basis. As for long-term estimates, I consider the company will grow revenues at a 10% average annual rate for the next 10 years. I'm being a bit optimistic here, but that's okay. And net profit margin will grow to 7.5%. This means in 2017 CMGI will have revenues of 2.9 billion and net income of 218 million. Apply an average 16 times earnings multiple and get a market cap of 3.44 billion. Now I'm going to assume the company won't dilute shareholders' value anymore, we hope so. And with the current share count, 3.49 billion translates to $4.07 price per share. And that means an average annual share price increase of 8.74%. Well, let's see the conclusion here. General overview for CMGI. CMGI looks much better now than in the past. Still, an estimated long-term growth of 8.74% is about the market average, so not good enough to consider a long-term investment. I like to see these estimates above 16%, which would be double the market average, to consider buying the stock. So I like CMGI, but I don't like it enough to buy it. And my rating on a 1 to 10 scale is 6. Okay, thank you, bye.